Welcome to Revealing the Wolf. I'm Dustin Taylor. Who will go to heaven? How many will be in heaven? How can you be 100% sure you're going? Is it reserved for those who prophesy, cast out demons, perform miracles, and go to church every week? Or will just anybody get through the pearly gates? The answer may surprise you. These are age-old questions that need practical explanations in our modern day. That's precisely what you're about to receive. Let's start with the end in mind by answering how many will be in heaven. John is in vision, and he sees the ceiling of the 144,000 just before Christ's second advent. Then he says, "After these things I looked, and behold, a great multitude which no one could number, of all nations, tribes, peoples, and tongues, standing before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes, with palm branches in their hands." This multitude no man could number are the redeemed. Isn't it encouraging that it's more than 8 souls saved like in the days of Noah? What if John was like, "And behold, there was a crowd of about 1,000,000 standing before the throne"? We'd all pull out our calculators and realize real quick that the odds wouldn't be in our favor. Thankfully, we have no idea exactly how many, but it's a vast multitude. Now we want to know who will go to heaven. I hope you noticed that those standing before the throne of God had on white robes. It is these who have on these white robes that are permitted into the gates of the kingdom. Jesus said, "Behold, I am coming as a thief. Blessed is he who watches and keeps his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame." The idea presented is to keep watch over our garments, making sure they are white. Without them, we are naked, and that's unacceptable in the sight of God. White in the Bible represents purity and righteousness. Remember Adam and Eve ran naked and hid after they sinned? They sewed fig leaves together but still felt naked. They had forfeited their righteous robes. You might be wondering, how do we get these white robes? We're told who some of these white-robed people are and how they got them. We read, "He who overcomes shall be clothed in white garments, and I will not blot out his name from the book of life, but I will confess his name before my Father and before his angels. These are the ones who come out of the great tribulation and washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb." It is by our faith in Jesus that makes us overcomers of our immorality. We are imputed his righteousness by faith in him. This happens when we believe in Jesus and surrender our lives to him. In turn, this makes us saints of God who are obedient to all he has asked of us. Did you know the saints all have something in common? The Bible tells us precisely what that is. We're told, "Here's the patience of the saints. Here are those who keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus." These white-robed people are unmistakably commandment keepers with the faith of Jesus. Do you know the eternal blessing of keeping God's commandments? Revelation 22:14 says, "Blessed are those who do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter through the gates into the city." We see law-abiding citizens are permitted into the kingdom. That sounds reasonable, doesn't it? Can you be confident you'll make it? Yes, you can. Men have made Christianity complicated, but really it's simple. You must have faith of Jesus and faith in Jesus, which results in righteous white robes that overcome sin through love, which results in keeping God's commandments of love. The process is straightforward, but I did not say it wasn't difficult. The battle with self will be the most significant conflict you'll ever fight. I'm in the process of making all kinds of videos that simplify the plan of salvation. I'm trying to make it very straightforward for people with little knowledge of Christianity, so I hope you'll consider subscribing to see them. Now, who will not be in heaven? Jesus says, "Not everyone who says to me, 'Lord, Lord,' shall enter the kingdom of heaven, but he who does the will of my Father in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, 'Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in your name, cast out demons in your name, and done many wonders in your name?' And then I will declare to them, 'I never knew you. Depart from me, you who practice lawlessness.'" Remember I asked at the beginning of this video if heaven was reserved for the church-going folks that prophesy, cast out demons, and perform miracles? You just got the answer. According to Jesus, many who think they're saved and do all sorts of works in his name aren't even known by him. They are practicing lawlessness. Paul gives a long list of people who will not enter the kingdom of God. He says, Now the works of the flesh are evident, which are adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lewdness, idolatry, sorcery, hatred, contentions, jealousies, outbursts of wrath, selfish ambitions, dissensions, heresies, envy, murders, drunkenness, revelries, and the like, of which I tell you beforehand, just as I also told you in time past, that those who practice such things will not inherit the kingdom of God. These are those who practice lawlessness that Jesus says to depart from him. You read that and it's like, wow, that pretty much sums up modern society. The crazy thing is, Paul has a couple other lists also that include even more, which we won't get into today. Why aren't they permitted into heaven? If these people were allowed into heaven, it would not please them. They would find no pleasure and joy in an unselfish world. It would be eternal torment. Think about it. If there are no liquor stores, nightclubs, nudity, raunchy movies, or provocative music, would you even want to be there? Not long ago, I would sing along to trade this life in for fortune and fame. If heaven wasn't a lot like Dixie, I didn't want to go. It wasn't appealing to me because I didn't realize I was a deceived slave. Friends, there really is a better life. There truly is a God who wants you to live in eternity with him forever. He has made a way for us to follow. Do you see that all this world has to offer is temporary? We brought nothing into this world, and we will undoubtedly carry nothing out of it. There is one thing that we can take with us to the afterlife. That is precious souls. Will you join me in trying to wake up our family and friends? Will you lead your sphere of influence into the promised land like Joshua did? I pray you do. I hope this video has answered some of your questions surrounding this topic. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next video.